welcome to HITC Sport. Anyway, since Christmas is around the corner, today we're going to look at the clauses in contracts. Not the overweight fella stuck in the middle of the shopping centre with a worryingly sizable bulge and sweating all over your little boy. Never trust a fake Santa. I asked for a train set, instead I got a fucking rash. Alright, so we know contracts in football are insane these days. I mean, the very fact that the likes of Paul McShane can keep a straight face when he fills up his bank account with 20 grand a week boggles the mind. But let's take a look at a few weird clauses put into contracts. Alright, this one isn't so much about a football clause, but it's weird all the same. Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo makes his household employees sign a confidentiality waiver where nothing about his private life can be divulged until 70 years after the death of the player or the last of his relatives. Which just automatically makes me think that he must be doing some really weird shit in that house. I mean, already I was thinking, okay, great player and all, but you know, he does seem to pop babies out of a vending machine every 6 months, so there must be something a little bit wrong. Does he drown pet hamsters in the toilet every night before bed? Does he sleep nude in an oxygen tent which he believes gives him sexual powers?
Hey, that's a half-truth.
Does he watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians for genuine pleasure? Speaking of the Kardashians, you know Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner is a strong, beautiful, and together lady. Any jokes made at her expense, offensive or otherwise, are callous in the extreme. All hail Queen Jenner.
Remember Rafael van der Vaart? The Dutch playmaker used to strut his stuff for Ajax, Real Madrid and Tottenham, only to spend his later years holding his hamstrings together with super glue as he squats in his piss-soaked homeless shelter down the road. He signed for Real Betis in 2015. Not sure what the point was, he only played 3 times. Going there was a bigger waste of time than watching reality TV. Just so we're clear, Harry Redknapp is going to sit in a sweaty jungle with your one-off in-betweeners and some from the vamps. Is this actually happening? And don't even get me started on the fucking X Factor.
Oh, last week my dog died and now my granny has polio. Please give me a record deal.
But Van der Vaart's contract, it was stipulated that he was forbidden to wear red boots because, you know, it was the same colour as their rival Sevilla. I mean, seriously, that's a bit childish, isn't it? For Christ's sake, Paul Pogba played a game at the actual Etihad, sporting the colours of his rivals in his fucking hair. If anything, it made him play better. Remember when Samuel Eto'o decided to swap Inter Milan for Anzi Mashahahwa back in 2011? A club whose name only exists in a bid to choke anyone out who dares pronounce it. Anyway, essentially walking headfirst into the wilderness of Russia to wander around in the cold and no doubt pick up racist abuse from a bunch of knuckle-dragging fans that probably pour vodka into their shreddies and feast on the bones of their firstborn children. Obviously, I'm not talking about all Russians, alright? Just the racist thugs that inhabit those lands. Let's call them Igors, since Igor is such a dreadful fucking name. Having said that, I probably offended about 6 Igors out there. My apologies, lads, alright? I didn't know you could get YouTube in Frankenstein's lab. If there was no money involved, Eto'o was essentially giving himself a prison sentence. No more glitz and glamour of European football. Now it was 700-mile trips across barren wastelands to listen to a crowd full of Igors telling you to go and wash a damn elephant. Seriously, lads, I don't know how they get away with all that racist abuse up there. It's absolutely abhorrent. Anyway, if there's one thing we know about Eto'o, it's that he likes money. Who doesn't? He was getting 20 million a year to live there, but also had a private jet put into his contract. To be fair, considering he was living 2,000 miles away from Machacha in Moscow, lads, that is the same distance as Newcastle to fucking Hungary, I'd say he needed it. David Villa signed for Barcelona in 2010, and it was the first contract to have an anti-racism clause put in it, meaning that if the Spaniard was a bit discriminatory, you know, a bit racist, a bit Igorish during games, then he'd be sacked, and rightly so. Look, it sounds great, right? It is great. It's a great move forward for the game as a whole, but Villa must have thought, why me? I'm sorry, but if you're moving to a club and they're having to stipulate, if they're having to single you out and say, no racism, singling you out for this attention, despite the fact you've never been racist before, you'd be thinking, it's like if I got a job down the local pub and they said, right, you're working 30 hours this week, tip jars over there, and also if you commit homicide and atrocities in eastern Syria, you're getting sacked in the morning. Well, yes, no shit. Just let me pour the f***ing pint. Remember Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? His knee is about as fragile as British politics. Anyway, this one was madness. When he arrived at Arsenal from Southampton in 2011, it was stated that the Gunners had to pay Southampton 10 grand every time he played more than 20 minutes. So what happens? Wenger starts bringing him on after 70 minutes. Lads, you are a top Premier League club. You're hardly shopping in f***ing Primark. Do you really need to cut corners like that? Has the new stadium really taken it out of you? Like, I think you could afford to bring Chamberlain on after the hour mark. Wenger wouldn't have been squatting in halls for a month, living on packs of cheese strings, alright? I think he would have been alright. Ronaldinho was a genius, one of the greatest to ever touch a ball. The man had a connection with the ball that could only be rivaled by Sam Allardyce's relationship with food. Sadly, the visual one with his penis was probably severed sometime back in the late 80s. But anyway, Ronaldinho was a genius, but also loved a party. Probably why he was effectively washed up on the beaches of Brazil by the time he was 30, with just one Champions League medal to his name. Anyway, when he did leave Europe in 2011, having effectively shown his liver the same care and love that Joe Jackson did for his kids, he wound up a Flamengo and actually managed to get a clause put in where he was allowed to go partying twice a week. If that was anyone else, they'd have been laughed out of the fucking sport, never mind the club. Can you imagine if Niall Ranger had asked for that? Mario Balotelli's contract at Liverpool was an absolute joke. Okay, not only was he given an 85 grand a week contract, but he was given a bonus of 150 grand for every 5 games played, 5 grand for every goal scored. To be fair, they didn't need to worry about that one too much, and $500,000 if he won the Golden Boot. Yeah, that wasn't happening. He was to be given another $500,000 if he just remained out of trouble on and off the pitch. What a joke. He's essentially being rewarded for not being a bad boy. I'd love to be given $500,000 for essentially not being a cunt. So right, don't let down your teammates and needlessly get sent off. Don't stamp on people's heads. Don't set off fireworks in your own bathroom. And he gets $500,000 for this. Where is the world heading? Okay, so Neymar's move to Barcelona is still working its way through the courts, so I'm not going to dwell on this, or there could be some hired Brazilian goons turning up at my door.
Hired goons?
But when Neymar first arrived in Spain, he actually managed to negotiate his contract an all-expenses paid trip for his buddies from Brazil to come over to visit Barcelona every couple of months in a private jet. I mean, they've come a long way from sculling tins and fingering old ones outside petrol stations. Oh wait, that was my childhood. This one was just bizarre. You've probably heard of it. When Stefan Schwarz swapped Valencia for Sunderland in 1999, the club put a clause in his contract where he wasn't allowed travel into outer space. Apparently the fullback had been keen to sign up for the first commercial flights to space, and Sunderland said, "I'm afraid not, lad. Now sign the contract and enjoy the wonders that Sunderland has to behold," including the beaches, Glass Museum, and of course Adam Johnson's favourite, the local creche. To be honest, Sunderland is a bit like space. I mean, there's nothing to do there except wake up every morning and cry into your fucking pillow. So they say the footballers have God complexes. Right, when Daniel Agger left Liverpool for Brøndby a few years ago, he made sure that in his contract, he had a big massive poster showing his face was to be paraded around the ground every home game.
Hey everyone, come and see how good I look!
Okay, so we know the stereotype of Welsh people is that they like to romance the sheep. Not sure how helpful it was then that for Cardiff City in 2001 that Sam Pryor had to eat a pair of sheep testicles after signing for Man City. I mean, Cardiff chairman Sam Hammond came up with the idea. This was just weird. To be fair, after forcing Pryor to eat a couple of cooked sheep bollocks, he eventually told him once he finished his plate, "No, actually it was just chicken." Haha, just lads being lads.
This is great banter. It really is.
Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. If you want to follow me on Instagram, link is right here. Also, link for Twitter. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, lads, don't forget to give it a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.